Hi, I wanted to send this to you because there was no way that I'd be able to send it in a tweet. It's the story about my cat, Pumpkin. I had a cat. It was given to me as a kitten, as a gift, and he was probably 6 weeks old, and I raised him. He was different. I knew from the very start. Whenever I would go to work, my hair, he would get up in the window and he would run and meet me at the door, more like a dog. I took him everywhere with me, took him outside, put him on my rain jacket pocket, put him on the counter to play with the bubbles in the sink. I lived alone, so it was just me and Pumpkin. And at the apartment, Pumpkin got outside and I lost him for a few days, and I was beyond myself. And finally, somebody, I put up a reward, and somebody came and knocked on my door, and they had found him outside by the garbage cans. It was really cold outside, so I was really thankful that they found him. And then I had met a boyfriend who said that he was going to get rid of Pumpkin. This was one of the abusive one that I actually kicked to the curb. Sorry, I'm trying to tell you this as quick as possible. So he told me that he had put my cat outside before we were to leave to Michigan because his family didn't want me to have Pumpkin. Pumpkin had a problem with not using the litter box, and it was just a matter of training. So I told him that if he didn't take me back to the house, I wasn't going to Michigan. Iowa with him to meet his family. So he took me back to my apartment. And thank God, Pumpkin was sitting outside on a neighbor's window well. I mean, he could have run away, could have got run over by a car or anything. So to continue on, I moved from there to my boyfriend's apartment that I was going to end up marrying. We moved out of there. I chose to be homeless rather than live in an abusive relationship. So Pumpkin came with me, and I lived with my sister for a while, but she was an alcoholic and was taking all my paychecks to pay for alcohol. So again, Pumpkin and I, we bought a big, huge car in the middle of summertime, and I would work, and I asked this guy at my old apartment to take care of him, and where I had moved out from, and I would pay him for kitty litter and for food and to keep him inside. So the cat was kept inside. I got to stay outside in my car. And then we had, from there we went, I was homeless, and I met my husband. There was this gentleman that was taking in, sorry, my lips are dry, was taking in homeless people, and he helped me get a job. I didn't have any family at that time. So I keep looking up, everybody keeps coming in and out. He took me in, and we eventually got married, had 2 kids by him. But while we were living together, I managed to move into a house where Pumpkin got lost. So actually, it was the first time I got lost, or the second time was in an apartment that we had moved to, and he was used to a house. He would jump in and out the windows and bring in furry critters and for us, and that was kind of creepy. But, he was a cat, so that's what he did. He thought he was bringing us a present, I guess. And so he had gotten lost, and I went for like 2.5 hours for 2 weeks every night, pounding the pavement, putting messages up at every door. And finally, after about 2 weeks, I had kind of given up a little bit, and I saw in the newspaper that there was this lady that was near me that just had a bunch of kittens. And so I went to see the kittens, and I couldn't do it. I just said, give it 1 more week. Something told me in my soul, give it 1 more week. So I did. And then all of a sudden I was passing my neighbor's door, and she opened it, and she was like, I think my friend has your cat. So I called and I said, call for Pumpkin. And she called for Pumpkin, and Pumpkin started crying, and I just burst into tears. And I went and got him, and he was like about 4 cities away. And I asked her how she got him, and he somehow got out into the parking lot. I was on the 4th floor and got out into the parking lot, and she opened up her car door, and the cat jumped in, and I didn't have a tag on him, and I didn't have him chipped or anything. This is back in like the early 1990s, I think. I don't know. I don't even know if they had chips then, but if they did, I did not have him chipped. So we moved from the apartment building into a little duplex. And when we got into the duplex about 2 weeks later, he ended up running away again. He was an outdoor cat, so I just was mortified, and I put a letter in the newspaper, and or an ad in the newspaper, and I said that he had a little black spot on his ear, and I waited a week, and I was like, okay, I'm going to run the ad again for 1 more week. So I did, and this lady calls me up, and she says, I think I have your cat. Same story. I said, would you call his name? So she called Pumpkin. I heard him crying, and I said, okay, I'm going to come get him. So can you tell me where you are? And she gave me this name of the street, and I thought it was really familiar. And I'm sorry for 1 second here. I have the most awful, itch on my ear there. So I thought that this house sounded really familiar, and I went to go pick him up, and lo and behold, you're not going to believe this. This is part of my angel cat. It was the same house that I'd gone to look at kittens the first time he was missing in the apartment building. That's the lady who had my cat. I couldn't believe it. Well, I had Pumpkin for many years. Pumpkin was so special to my heart. I would whistle outside like, and he'd come running like a dog. And he would follow me around the neighborhood and sit on people's porches until I came outside. And then the year after my husband died, he died in 2001, Pumpkin was 17, and I was so blessed. And he lived a year after that to be 18 and started to have some bladder issues. So I took him to the vet, and the vet said that his kidneys were failing, and that was in 2002. And so I took him to the vet, and it's weird because he was walking and he was fine. And then when I picked him up from the vet said there was absolutely no hope, and I should, I should not do anything. I should probably plan for the worst. And Pumpkin couldn't walk anymore by the time I got him back home, and he'd just get up and fall on the floor, and it broke my heart. So sorry, I'm not gonna do this. So everybody was telling me that it was time, and I had just lost Rob the year before, and then I had to reason with myself that he was in pain. So he always loved to hug my neck, and I put him on my chest, and I told him goodbye, and wrapped him up in a blanket because he couldn't walk. And we were running out the door, and I was getting in the car, and all of a sudden he jumped out of my hands. And the thing is, he couldn't walk anymore, but I don't know how he walked. And he turned around, he looked at me, and he started meowing, and I was like, what, baby? What? And started walking towards the side of the house. And when he got to the side of the house, he sat down. And then when he moved, I had never seen this before. I had lived there for probably 4 or 5 years. There was a rock, and it was in the shape of a heart. And he looked up at me. And he was telling me goodbye. And He was just the most beautiful thing in my life. And I will miss him until the day I die. You know, I have a dog now and I have another cat, but there was no way to explain this story other than he was just an angel, how I found him so many times and how he stayed with me. And this was years and years ago, and I'm still crying, and I still miss him so much today because he was my baby. So, and I wanted to tell you that I'm so sorry that you had to endure what you did. In the comments that I saw, people being really insensitive. I'm sure you're really strong and things like that, but nobody knows what you had to go through or what you had to see. And you know, it doesn't matter. Sorry. Like, try not to cry. It doesn't matter who you are. Just because, you know, you're somebody that's out there, so to speak, trying to keep it as vague as I can. It doesn't mean that anybody has the right to say those kind of things. So, I know you're a strong woman and lady, and you will just take those things and go, you know, pfft. But what a thing for you to have to go through and see. You know, I didn't get a chance to see Rob and before he passed away, and I keep wondering when he must have been feeling, and I can't even imagine what you must have felt going through that and seeing that. But the miracle of it all, and having God put love and light back into your life. And, you know, he's definitely met you two for something very, very special on this earth, you know, reaching out to all the people like you do every day. I am so, it just makes me want to get up and fight, even though I'm in a lot of pain. So I'm going to try, but I just wanted to send you this message, and, I hope it does your heart good for today. And take care of yourself. And let me know if you get this. Okay? Hugs. Bye. I got to try to figure out how to turn it off.